Welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. This one's going to look a little different. It's going to feel a little different, and it's going to sound a little different. I was fortunate enough to have a booth at the NRA annual meetings Radio Row, which is something new the NRA is doing at their annual meetings. I was able to do a number of audio-only interviews, and what you're about to hear is one of those. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. If you're listening to the show in podcast form, please leave a positive review. And if you like the show, share it with your friends, because that is how we get the Stagecoach across America. I'm going to kick it off. Let's do it. All right, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. This is a pit stop episode where it's just going to be short and sweet. And today on this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie Pit Stop, we are going to, I'm going to bring me down a little bit. We are going to have Jacob Paulsen from everything, from everything, right? And somebody says, "Well, who's gonna be on?" And they're like, I said, Jacob Paulsen. They're like, "What does he do?" I'm like, I don't know. He's got the concealedcarry.com. They have the holster company. They got the barrel block. They've got the
You're doing pretty good.
Right, the dummy rounds that are, I don't know what
they're mag blocks.
You guys have everything.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little too much maybe.
Right, and also I was listening to you on Rob Becksman's show last year, and you're talking about doing a website audit.
So yeah, my background is in internet marketing. Before I got in the gun world, I was just a digital marketer. One of 10 million of those guys, and said, "Hey, I like guns. Let's do digital marketing there." So yeah, my background is on the marketing side.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild. I think it's cool that there are people that don't have. I don't want to say they're not gun people, right? But they like guns, they like shooting, and then they find some sort of an angle.
A bridge.
Yes, I was going to say an angle, but a bridge. I told my son has a degree in accounting, and I'm like, the cool thing about that is all of the successful businesses have accountants.
That's a fact.
If you like, he's very much into shoes. I'm like, if you want to work for Nike or something, they hire accountants to do stuff.
Have them. Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So you can
find your passion.
Yeah, you can find what you have and find somebody that does that and parlay that into a career and a living.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did all this start out for you? So you're the internet marketer and you like guns.
Jeez, yeah, I don't know. I guess I watched too many James Bond movies. I really don't have a good origin story. I was.
All right. Well, thanks for coming. It's been really nice.
Yeah, I wasn't in the military. I've never been a cop.
Yeah.
Just a guy who really wanted to be in the firearm industry. I think I just have really deeply set values in the concept and reality of self-defense, and that's always intrigued me. And I've been part of that. In 2007, 2007, I founded a private security business, and to be quite frank, it was a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one more failure in my failure chart. But as part of that business, I got certified to do some firearm instruction, because at that time I had to certify my own security officers. This was in the state of Utah. It was just cheaper to do it myself than to contract it out.
Sure.
So after the security business went under, I was like, well, I guess I could give this firearm training thing a shot. I got all the certifications.
Right.
So I gave that a go for a while. And this was probably at a time, I think 2007, 2008, 2009, when the vast majority of firearm instructors didn't have a website, certainly didn't know anything about search engine optimization. So I applied some of those skills, and despite probably being a very pitifully poor instructor, was able to create quite a bit of business doing that. And then expanded over time and brought additional instructors on board. And so really the origin of concealedcarry.com is we were an instructor network. We had about 12 or 15 instructors that were teaching classes across the country, and we were really the marketing arm behind those guys' efforts.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I always thought it was, I'm going to use air quotes when I say weird, but that you would have, I guess I wouldn't know if I were looking for to get a license or I wanted to learn about firearms. I don't know if I'd look for concealedcarry.com. I'd try to find somebody that's local, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you probably wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, we certainly run some ads and things like that, so you might stumble through us by clicking on the right search thing or something like that. But class.concealcarry.com, you can find all of the various classes of all the various instructors we're partnered with. We're not as big as some of the, like if you're, like I think like shootingclasses.com or USCCAs. These are Legal Heat. These are companies I would think of as kind of competitors of ours. But that's all they do, and we do all this other stuff too. But anyway, one thing we do differently is we're geographically exclusive. So if you're a firearm instructor in, wherever we are right now, Atlanta, Georgia, and you work with us, we don't work with any other instructors in Atlanta, Georgia. It's like,
very cool.
So we're really not trying to make it some big, huge, massive part of our business. We're really trying to partner with some select people in select places and help supplement their marketing.
Very cool.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
So you own a bunch of companies?
Yes.
Like you ended up buying a lot of these?
It's true.
How does that work out?
Sometimes it works out just fine. Other times maybe not so much. Ask me in a decade, right?
Right. Like, so my deal is this. I went to school to be a music teacher. So
okay.
How did I become a gun guy? I don't want to say I have no idea, but
we all ended here somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
So when people start talking about business and hey, you should do this, you should try that, I'm like, I don't know, I'm swamped, man. I'm swamped. When my tax time comes up, I absolutely dread tax time and saving receipts and tallying everything up and miles and I don't have a business sense.
At some point, there is sort of this point of efficiency, right? Where it's sort of like, okay, well, if you went and bought a holster company, I bought a holster company in 2022, KSG Armory. Fantastic guy, founded that company, really smart, had some good designs, but I just felt like, hey, we could make this bigger than he can make it. So we bought the company from him. And, if you had bought a holster company, you'd be thinking, okay, I'm going to need manufacturing, I'm going to need a warehouse, I'm going to need customer service, I'm going to need a website, I'm going to need people who can build websites, all this infrastructure. And when I bought the holster company, I was like, well, I already got all that. Right? What do I need? I guess I need a guy to build some holsters now. So,
right.
So there's a certain point where it's just efficient to add more because the infrastructure already exists. I already have the warehouse. I already got fulfillment people.
Right.
I already do shipping. We already print labels. We already have customer service guys. I guess they have to learn some more stuff now, field some new phone calls. But otherwise, we kind of already have the infrastructure.
That's really cool. How many companies do you own? How many's underneath it? I don't know. I love that.
Let's think. So concealcarry.com. Obviously, is the mothership, really, is the way I think of it. And then you have Mountain Man Medical. You have KSG Armory Holsters. You have Barrel Block. You have Ready Up Gear. You have Range Tech Shot Timers. Those are probably the ones. I mean, there are a couple other little weird offshoots. Like we have a media business called Midnight Ride Media. That's kind of a reviewer network for influencers and stuff in the gun space. So call it 5 to 7, something like that, somewhere in that range.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. That's
wild. That's great. It keeps you busy, right?
Yeah.
And that gives you a lot of hats to wear, too.
Yeah, some days it's, depending on the project, you think of those things as all being separate businesses, and other days you don't. You just say, it's one business.
Right.
It's one operation. We just got different products, different brands, different logos, a bunch of different social media profiles, websites, but really it's one operation. It's one group of dudes. It's not like I got different guy shipping, holsters versus medkits. It's the same warehouse, same team, same resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild to me, man. Like that boggles my mind.
Simple.
Right? Yeah. Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me about the shot timer, and it's my I've got a friend that we call him the BSKOG, the Bay State King of Glocks.
Okay.
Because he only has 4 safes full of Glocks and ARs, and he was going on about your the shot timer a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So the Range Tech Shot Timer, a company we purchased, originally founded by Shooter Technology Group, which is the company that most of us know by the LASR software. So good company, good people, and they decided to create the shot timer, and that project just didn't take off for them like they expected. So they were going to kind of throw it in the garbage and say, hey, never mind, I guess we're done with this. And I was lucky, just kind of swoop in at that moment, like, hey, how about I take that off your hands? So great product. The Range Tech Shot Timer, in some ways, has really been a trendsetter. It was the first ever Bluetooth shot timer, and today a lot of these shot timers, most of our competitors have Bluetooth capabilities. It connects to a mobile app that's unique to us, and today a lot of these shot timer companies have apps too. First shot timer to have a visual go signal. So in addition to beep, you get a nice big flashing green light. So in a lot of ways, a big trendsetter, and to this day, it's still a very economic choice. So I think our current MSRP is $90 for that shot timer. And the next closest competitor is probably like $135, $140.
Wow.
We make them by hand in-house in Colorado. It's a labor of love for sure to manufacture those dang things. Sometimes I get upset at them. So I'm like, oh crap,
I'm picking that up.
we got to make more shot timers. But no, we love them. With any luck, we'll have a Gen 2 kind of pro model in the next couple of years.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we got a prototype, and we're working through some bugs with it. But hopefully that'll come to market.
Very cool. Very cool. What else? Oh, I tried to connect you with. Well, I went out a couple years ago, and I went out to Colorado, and I ended up doing a show with Riley. Yes. And he made me a holster for my J-frame, like while I was there, which I was like, this is really cool.
He must like you.
And I love that. So it's an appendix carry for my J-frame, and I have this sounds completely ridiculous. I have a purple grip on mine, purple Hogue grip. So he made it in purple, right? So
easy peasy.
Right. And I wore it all summer. I thought it was really cool. It really. I've had a lot of people ask about the whole appendix carry of the guns pointed right at your junk, all that kind of stuff. But I trust my J-frame. It's not going to go bang unless I press the trigger.
Sure.
And I thought it was really comfortable. I really liked it a lot. And I will tell you this. I bought a 365 last year. I found a couple different holsters that I didn't like because they don't have the wedge on it, and it doesn't feel like my J-frame one. So I'm like, I'm not going to go with these because I like. And what I got from Riley is the holster has to be longer than the barrel.
Got it.
So that it angles properly.
Super counterintuitive, right? Like, we presume that because we're trying to conceal a gun, that it would make sense to not make the holster footprint any bigger than it needs to be to hold the gun. Mm-hmm. But, in the appendix position, it's really one of those interesting things. As appendix carry has obviously grown tremendously over the last decade, tons of people are into it now. We're seeing holster companies are way behind. They don't actually understand how to build a holster that's optimized for that position. Mm-hmm. So there's kind of three core things. One is one you just mentioned. The holster really should extend beyond the length of the gun, depending on the size of the gun and the person. But you probably need a minimum like a 4 to 4.5 inch barrel size holster, despite your gun being shorter than that, to spread out the pressure and to give you. John Hopman calls this the kill effect. Basically, the idea is we're countering the rotation of my gut pushing the gun out above the belt line by extending it lower below. So that's first one, extend the holster. Second is the wedge, which you already mentioned. If the holster doesn't come with a wedge, the holster company doesn't make a good appendix holster. Wedges are critical.
Yeah.
And third is some sort of wing or claw, which applies sideways tension on the holster.
It's got that on there too. I absolutely love it. I'm trying to connect you with Michael de Betancourt to make some holsters for some of his J-frame guys.
Yeah. I think they just sent me an email today with some specs. Yeah, we just rolled out. I mean, it's funny. I said that Riley must like you because at that time when you came by, we were making revolver holsters. So yours was a one-off.
I'm standing there watching him. I thought this was really.
It was a one-off.
I thought this was really cool because I've seen videos where people put the Kydex on the stuff and then it just shrinks, and I'm like, how does that happen? He's like, it's like you push this little button, it sucks everything in.
It's all
I'm like,
air.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but we finally got around to kind of formally rolling out a revolver holster. We're supporting all the vast majority of Smith & Wesson J-frames, handful of the Taurus models as well. And, it's been very popular. I was getting one off to one of Michael's riders for his deal. The American Fighting Revolver guys, they bought a bunch. They're selling them. It's interesting. We're kind of seeing like a revolver restitution, revolution,
right? Resurgence.
Resurgence. I like resurgence.
Resurgence.
A revolver resurgence right now.
There we go. The alliteration is good too.
Super good.
We need to
trademark that. Get the domain.
Get the domain real quick. Let's get on GoDaddy.
So we're happy to support those as people kind of return to the revolver, and certainly I think a lot of those people, revolvers are popular on ankle rigs. They're popular in pocket holsters, but hey, if you're an appendix guy or IWP guy and you want to run a J-frame, cool. Like, let's support that too.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's awesome. I think it's very cool. Yeah. You and Riley also do a podcast because you guys are all over my TikTok, by the way.
We got a great social media guys constantly cutting up pieces and putting them all over the internet. The Concealed Carry podcast. Started that in February 2016. I don't know how many episodes we've recorded. Somewhere between, let's call it 650 and 800 episodes.
Damn,
we're about to hit 9 million downloads. I think we're like 8.8 million right now.
Holy moly, that's fantastic.
Labor of love, for sure. What a beast.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's another one of those, like, I have a hate-love relationship with our podcast.
Right.
It's like, crap, I got to do the podcast. You know, this feels like it's a burden, but it's like, man, it's been fantastic. What a ride. I just love it.
Sure. Once you get started, it's like the starting's the hardest thing, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I think maintenance, too. I mean, you've been doing your show for a long time, for years now. And I don't think people realize that it takes time and energy to find guests, figure out topics, make arrangements, the post-production, the editing, the publishing, the marketing, and for what? Like, if it's people are under this false impression that they can go create a podcast and somehow money's just going to get sent to them. You know, oh, but I'm going to get checks in the mail. It's like, when you figure that out, you let me know.
Let me know, because let me tell you this: that is not what's happening for me.
It's not how it works. I mean, and I shouldn't say that because we have a couple of sponsors and some that have come and gone. But anyway, the point is, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and so if anyone's listening to this, like, you got to give the props to Charlie here because it's a ton of work.
I always tell people that I went to school to be a music teacher. When I started editing video, I had no idea what I was doing, and this is bad, but it's funny. I was like a terrorist in that I just wanted to learn how to fly the plane. How can I put these three videos together and synchronize it so that it doesn't look... Yeah, so I don't want it to look like some Japanese movie where the mouth's moving and the words are different.
I mean, we're getting, there are some tools that are making it a little easier now. Like we see a lot of these AI tools and things are making, like, even just something as simple as like automatically generate a transcript for me. I have all the text. Like what a blessing. I used to pay, I think originally I was paying 10 cents per minute to have our podcast transcribed.
Wow.
And now it's like there's 50 tools that do it for free.
That's wild.
So anyway, we're seeing some improvements, a little bit better than it used to be, but it's a labor of love.
That is cool. All right, well, listen, we need to wrap this up. How can everybody find you and all the stuff that you're up to?
Yeah, concealedcarry.com. That can make it easier. The domain costs a fortune, so please use that. Concealedcarry.com. That's it.
That's it. Very cool. Jacob, thank you so much for being on.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
I hope the show goes great for you, and I look forward to seeing you soon, man.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right.
There it goes.
Yeah, now this is telling me there's a right error.